Okay, so the rule that is in prompt A is about Alex and saying that if I don't get an A in this class, then I'm a failure. So this is the rule that Alex is responding to. This is an example of rule governed behavior rather than contingency shaped behavior because it is a rigid, self derived rule that does not allow for external contingencies to shape it differently. The way I think of the difference between rule governed behavior and contingency shaped behavior is that rule governed behavior is rigid. It is how we follow rules to a T when we first learn something. On the other hand, contingency shaped behavior is derived from the rigid rule following comfortability with the original rule and some fluidity that has occurred. The private rule that Alex abides by is rather rigid and black and white. It's also catastrophic and seemingly does not allow for mistakes or external stimuli to induce any flexibility. So, with neutral stimuli such as deadlines, assignments, and interactions with professors, they begin to induce anxiety, and the stimulus function has transformed. In the case of Alex and requiring an A of himself in the class, otherwise he's a failure, the stimuli of a group assignment might induce some anxiety as he does not have complete control over the final product. Or the stimuli of a deadline could produce anxiety if he is one to procrastinate to avoid producing work that he's not proud of. The interactions with professors could become extremely anxiety inducing if, after he leaves the conversation, he reads into it a little too much and assumes that the professor thinks he's not bright and will be grading him accordingly from now on. Alex's private verbal behavior of assuming the identity of a failure if he does not receive an A in a certain class can lead to some maladaptive and avoidant behavior. Some examples of this might include procrastination, second guessing, leading to taking too much time on coursework, or avoiding asking for help from a professor as to not seem dumb. It can possibly lead to other negative self-talk about himself in other contexts where being perfect is the standard, such as in sports or music or in sibling rivalry. When perfection is not gained, the feeling of failure and disgust in himself can seep through his body and cause a blow up in some form, whether it be yelling or physical aggression, self-injurious behavior or substance abuse, etc. The maintaining factor of Alex's behavior could be social pressure from a learned history from family and or friends. This might also be how he encourages himself to strive to be the best, and he thinks that if he does not speak to himself this way, then he won't reach his greatest potential.